Hi kids, today's our third and probably our last lesson about lessons from the lamp. But do any of you know what that is? You ever seen one of those before? Well, that is a wick trimmer. It's a wick trimmer that my wife uses on her candles to make sure the wicks are right. Now, we talked about lamps. Remember, a lamp has three parts to it. Yes, a lamp has three parts to it. The first part is the body of the lamp. See, these lamps are made out of clay. And that's a bit like our body. Remember, it's not the lamp that burns, it's the oil that burns. And it's not us that gives light, it's Jesus that gives light. Incidentally, these lamps are made out of clay. Do you know what God made the first person out of? That's right, clay, dirt. And that's what these lamps are made out of. They're like our body. You know, you might want to be bigger or taller or shorter or blonder or darker or whatever, but you can't. You're sort of like the lamp. What you are is what you are. But that's what the lamp is like, our body. But inside the lamp, we have the oil. And it's the oil that gives people light, not the lamp. The lamp just holds the oil in the same way the Lord Jesus is inside us. But there's a third part to the lamp, and it's this bit. That's called the wick. Now, what does the wick do in the lamp? Well, the wick is very important because the wick takes what's inside and brings it outside where it can give people the light. You see, the oil inside the lamp won't give any light at all. It needs to come out through the wick, and then it can give light to all the people in the house. But have a look at what our Bible verse says today in Matthew 25, verse 7. And it said, "Then all the virgins arose and trimmed their lamps." Remember our story that we had the first time? How there were ladies waiting for the bridegroom to arrive, and some didn't have any oil in their lamp and some did. Well, when everybody heard the bridegroom was going to come, they all got up and trimmed their lamps. What does it mean to trim a lamp? I'm going to show you something. This is our oil lamp, and I want you to see what happens when we light it up. We light up our lamp, and it looks good, but have a look at what happens soon. Oh, look, it starts to smoke and it gets messy and icky, and oh, that's no good at all. What you have to do is trim the wick. You use one of these. I don't know whether they had them in Jesus' day, but you take off the extra bit of wick, and then when you light it, the flame is just right. Do you know how we bring Jesus from inside us out into the world? Well, it's the things we do and the things we say and how we behave and how we talk to people. That's what brings Jesus from inside us to outside and gives light to the world. And trimming the wick, well, I guess that's taking a good look at what we do every day. Are we doing things that make people want to hear about the Lord Jesus? Are we doing things that are kind and wise and gentle, or are we doing nasty things and things that we shouldn't do? that make people say, well, if that's a Christian, I don't want to be one. So trimming the wick, it's having a bit of a look at the things we do each day. Are they things that tell people about the Lord Jesus, or are they things that turn people away from coming to church and hearing about him? Incidentally, if there's no oil in your lamp, it doesn't matter what you do to the wick, it's never going to burn properly. Now this is a very, very old lamp, and we're going to have a look at something that happens with the wick here. If we can get it to light. What do you think happens if we have too much wick? Have a look. Can you see what's happening to the glass? It's getting all dark. It's getting smoky. And instead of giving light, well, it's making it darker. You see, sometimes the things people do, well, they take people away from the Lord Jesus instead of bringing them to him. Look at that. That's just terrible. They need to trim their wick. They need to make it better in their lives, and then they'll be able to give light to everybody that's around. So is your life generating smoke or light? Is your wick trimmed? Is it the right size? Are you looking at the things you do each day to make sure they're the things that bring people to Jesus, or the things that turn people away from him? What's your wick like? Maybe you need to just trim it a little bit and say, I won't do that anymore. I won't say things like that anymore, because I want people to be attracted to the Lord Jesus Christ by the way that I live. So they're the lessons from the lamp. There's a body, there's oil, and there's the wick. We can't change our body, and the Lord Jesus is like the oil, but we can trim the wick so that people will see the light that we produce and be attracted to the Lord Jesus Christ. And that is the lesson for today.